Hi guys, welcome to the class. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about what is meant by signaling and what are the different types of signals we have. And here, in this lecture, we are continuing these signaling and the types of signals. In this previously, we have discussed about home and proceeding signals, and here are the classification according to the location of this which the signaling are used. If it is in the proceed position, then the driver can take the right can take the train at normal speed, assuming that home signal is also in the proceed position. If two aspects, the aspect of signals, which is of outer signal, is like 1200 meters in section, where sectional speed is 100 km per hour, and about 800 meters where sectional speed is less than 100 km per hour. Where the minimum visibility as above cannot be achieved, the warner may be separated. With the warner which we have separated, it has the minimum visibility of outer shell be not less than 400 meters. These are the positioning of the locations where the signals are used. The Warner signal on a post by itself of 400 meters, and home signal which is also of 400 meters, and the main starter signals which is also of 400 meters, and all other signals including home and including of semaphore signals, those signals which are placed at a distance of 200 meters, where the adequate visibility of these stop signals cannot be provided. A repeater or coacting signals shall be provided to ensure the combined visibility or speed restrictions which are imposed in the railways, which are imposed, the speed restrictions which are imposed on the railways. So, in the departure signals, these signals which control the dispatch of the trains from the stations, that is, the signals which we use for the departure signals are of starter signals or advanced starter signals. In here, what is a starter signal? The starter signal is a limit up to which the trains stopping at a station come to a stand or halt position, where in these halt positions the loading or unloading of this traffic in the locomotive or the train can take place, and these home signals carry as many arms as the number of diverging lines, where the separate starting signal is provided for each line. The starter is the last stop signal at the station. If advanced starter is not provided, then in such cases it has to be placed outside all connections of the line to which it refers, unless permitted by approved instructions. Unless permitted by the approved instructions. Here, in the departure signals, we have the starter signals and advanced starter signals. In the starter signals, these starter signals can be placed uh, for the trains which are stops at the station for to stand for a while or to halt in that station for the traffic to be loaded and goods has to be loaded. Is there any loading or unloading of the goods? These halting stations can require a starter signal and also a departure signals, which includes of starter and advanced starter signals. If in case any advanced starter is not provided, then those such cases has to be placed outside all connections of the line to which it refers, unless permitted by the approved instructions of the train other of the railway authorities. Railway authorities. In here, the home signals carry as many as number of arms or for the diverging lines, whereas the separate starting signal is provided for each line. If we have number of diverging lines from a point of starter, from the point of the station of the locomotive, then these home signals can be placed as many arms as the number of diverging lines. In the main left part of the train is of the main part of the left portion of the train indicates upper arm for the signaling of the most left on the most left track for the train to proceed. And for the second arm from the top, it indicates the second left of the track for the proceeding or stopping caution proceed with a caution signaling. So these are the starter signals, and thus the starter signal actually controls the movement of the trains when they depart from the stations. No train can leave the station unless the starter signal shows the proceed position, that is, the inclined position of the lever arm, which indicates the proceed position. If the inclined position is not there, for the horizontal position of the lever arm can be observed, then the train must stop in that station for a particular time period until the lever arm is placed in the inclined position or in the vertical position. In the vertical position, it shows of proceed with caution. Proceed with the caution signal. We have to maintain the speed limit and proceed that station with a uh, particular cautions can be taken while crossing that junction or the station. So, advanced starter signals. It besides the starter signals, an advanced starter may also be provided, generally 180 or more meter distances. Beyond the trailing points or switches, those become the last stop signal at the station where it is provided. In general, it is an indication for the train having left the station and is no more the responsibility of the station master. These advanced starter signals uh, may also be provided at 180 or above meter distances. Beyond the trailing points or the switches becomes the last stop signal at the station where it is provided. Where it is provided. In general, it is an indication for the train having left the station and it is no more the responsibility of the station master. Positions of signals in station yards. Position of signals in station yards. Here you can observe this is the movement of the locomotive, and here the starting signal, and here you can observe the starting signal, home signal, distant signal, the braking distance between these distant signal to the home signal. So these Varna and outer signals, these are the Varna and outer signals. This is the signaling box here, and this is the start signal, and this is where the level crossing has been provided. And for those, this is the home signal, and this is the distance signal, and this is the starting signal. The distance between the home signal to the distant signal is the nothing but a breakage distance for the locomotive for the train to be stopped. This is the Warner signal, and this is outer signal. An advanced starting signal might be used at the locations where it might be desirable to advance a train from a station platform before the section ahead becomes available. Here, in this scenario, the starting signal permits the train to draw forward from the station area towards the advanced starting signal, which controls entry to the section ahead. If any of the signals beyond the first stop signal are at danger. The previous signals will also be held at danger until the train is almost at a stand to indicate the driver that the next signal is at danger. This can be enforced by the instruction or by electrical interlocking, which requires the provision of a track circuit on the approach to the signal. In America, where the term hope signal is in the common usage, it generally refers to the generic, and for the British definition of stop signal, namely any signal whose most restrictive indication is of danger. Here in this is the junction signal, where in this junction signal the diverging route indicator and the junction signal C1. This is the overlap length for the signal to the diverging junction to reach the train. For uh, this junction signal indicates that for the driver that there is a junction ahead, and from this signal to the junction point, the distance is known as the overlap distance. And for a distance to be considered, the train leaves the main line to the branch line, and an approach route and track locking. Here in this signal, you can observe the direction of the travel of the train is in the this direction, and this is the diverging junction, and route locking overlap between the route locking to the junction signal to the diverging junction. Uh, this is the track locking, and this is the approach locking from the train body to the junction signal. And this is the branch line, this is the main line for the approach route and track locking. If the signaling at a double track junction, if there is a junction, it indicates there is a junction forward on this track to the driver of the locomotive. This is the direction of the travel. These are the points C5 and C4. Here in this signal, the locomotive can leave. So in this signal, the main line contains a red indicator, red light indicator to stop the vehicle if it passes through the main lane, and if it travels in the branch line, it is of green light. So it is free to move forward direction in this track of point C5. Here in this signaling at the double track junctions, these points and switches plays a major vital role in diverging the route of these train from one path to one track to another track with an ease, and indications must be known if the train that locomotive traveling in this direction and does not proceed to a branch line, and it has been not any switches or points are applied here. So this train traveled in this main line only. If the train is traveling in the main lane, it indicates a red light indicator to stop the locomotive at the signal which it has been seen. And if there is a points and switches are applied, if the train can take another route and may change the path of the movement of the locomotive, and it indicates in the branch line, it indicates a green indicator for smooth moving of the locomotive on this track without any delays or without any stoppings. These green light indicates proceed on this track in the movement of the locomotive or the train. This is here. You can observe. You can observe here in this junction signal. You can see a green, so it is good to go on this track. And here in this direction of the travel, these points, both the main line and branch line, indicates a red light signal indicator, so that this is a very danger. So the locomotive, the operator of this locomotive or the train driver must stop the body while watching these signals. So the main line and here the branch line both indicates a red light. So it may stop danger for the train if further movement of the locomotive in the direction of this movement. So The interlocking, in this case, the interlocking could allow points C4 to be set for the mainline route and permit signal C3 to how a proceed aspect can happen. And here, the special characteristics, the repeater are coacting signals, the routing signals, the Polygon signals, the point indicators, modified Law Quadrant semaphore signals, and miscellaneous signals. Here, in this repeater coacting signals, generally, when a train passes through uh, generally passes through a station without stopping. The driver comes across the five signals, and in this sequence, the Warner outer and home starter and also the advanced starter indicators can be implemented in these five signals of the repeater or coacting signals. Coacting signals. Here, uh, the driver vision is obstructed by an overbridge by an overbridge between the signals or the sharp curvature in the alignment or due to any other reason, a signal is provided with a duplicate arm of smaller size at a suitable position which repeats the same indication of the signal ahead. It is further termed as the repeater signal. This signal is linked with the main signal, and therefore when the lever is pulled, both signals are lowered simultaneously. Here, uh, if the this repeater signal is much useful when the train, the locomotive is crossing over, if the vision of the driver is obstructed by an overbridge or by a sharp curvature or by any other reasons, if he misses by watching out these signaling points, so a repeater signal can be indicated, can be very useful if the main signal can't be watched by the driver. So a duplicate arm of the smaller size at a suitable positions, a suitable position from the main signal, and which repeats the indication of the signal ahead. So these repeater signal is linked with the main signal. This repeater signal is attached, is also connected with the main signal. When the main signal arm is pulled down, these and simultaneously the repeater signal is also be pulled down, as these signals work in unison with the main signal. It is called coacting signals. Coacting signals. Here, the banner repeater signal on, and here the banner repeater signal off. The repeater coacting signals are here. The semaphore repeater signal on. So the banner repeater signal, which coacts with the main signal, and it shows that the banner repeater signal is coacting signal. So it shows the same result, the same matter that shows on the main line, that shows right after the main line. So it acts as the coacting, and it indicates the same output, the same signal for the this banner repeater signal. If it is of the main signal is on condition, the repeater signal is also should be in on condition. And if the semaphore, if the signal is off, the main signal is off in off condition, the repeater signal is also in the off condition. Here you can observe the routing signals. The routing signals. Here, at big stations where a number of lines exist, at big stations, a number of lines exist at the station. Taking off these different routes from the main line, besides one main home signal, the routing signals are provided at the point of diversion. These routing signals are provided at the point of diversion. So lowering of any one of these signals indicates the track for which the points are set. The signal for main track or home signal is at higher level, while signals for other diversions are at lower level. number of platforms or line indicated by a number plate, example 1, 2, 3, etc. So here you can observe these are the two aspects of the routing signals here. So in a routing signals, the number of in a big station, the number of lines of the tracks can exist at a station, taking off different routes from the main line beside one main home signal. Routing signals are provided at the these routing signals are provided at the point of diversion, and the lowering of any one of the signal indicates the track for which the points are set. And here we have the polygon signal, which consists of small arms below and parallel to home signal fixed on the same vertical spot. When a train stops with home signal indication, then a polygon signal permits a train to proceed cautiously by keeping this signal arm at proceed position useful when repair works are going on. These calling signals are majorly used when the repair works are going on the track where the halt position of the train takes place. These repair works can be used. So a calling on signal has indicates uh, same on the same post of the home signal is fixed on same vertical post of the calling on signals. So here you can observe the semaphore calling on signal on, the rear arm is on. If the rear arm is off, the lower quadrant calling on or signal off. The upper quadrant calling on signal off. Here you can observe these are the indications which are used in the calling on signals, which is attached parallel to the home signal fixed on the same vertical post. So here the point indicators. These are mainly used to indicate the route to driver as a precaution against burst of points or running into occupied line when the signals are not available for this purpose. Do not indicate the correct setting of points. They should not be railed upon by the station masters as a mean of verification of the setting of points for movements in the facing direction. It consists of a rotating lamp about its central vertical axis. So here, this is the point of indicator. These are the day aspects. Here you can observe the point indicator, which doesn't allow any form of light to be observed here. So it indicates a green target, and the driver of the locomotive or the driver for that train can be seen these signals and can proceed without any cautions or without any stopping of these trains if the point indicators are available at uh, positions where uh, signals can be placed with these type of indicators. So here, if we see this type of image, the light is of in a dim or black color, then it indicates the red target. So the driver must stop the locomotive or the train uh, without any movement on the track. And here, these are also the point indicators: help green, help red, which are in square, and catch point indicator. Here can observe full red square, full green square. So these points set are on the main track in white target, These points are changed or rotates 90 degrees. Green light or green light at night can be visible. So these points are placed on a vertical post which is fixed, and this is the mobile. It can be rotates up to 90 degrees, which indicates green and red lights. So here these are the special signals. In the rear, this is the railway semaphore signal. So in the rare circumstances, one can find multiple signals placed on the same mast, one above the other. In such a case, the convention is that the highest one refers to the leftmost divergence and the successive signals below it refers to the successive routes. Here you can observe there are two lever arms and there are two routes must have been placed here. This is the most left. This is the highest one refers to the leftmost divergence. For this track, it indicates the above, and for the second one, for the uh, left, the second left indicates the second lever arm. So the train must not, the train driver or the locomotive operator can be seen by these lever arms in the while traveling on the tracks for one or two. So there is a stop signal which is clear and loud. This indicates the red and which is in the horizontal position. On these are the special signals, the point indicators. These are mainly used to uh, to indicate the route to drivers as a precaution against busting of points or running into occupied line when the signals are not available. The signals are not available. So here you can observe the occupied line when the signals are not available for this purpose do not indicate the correct setting of points. They should not be relied upon by the station masters as a mean of verification of the setting of points for movement in the facing direction. Here in this previously we have discussed this is the must not available for this purpose. So here are the modified Law Quadrant semaphore signals. These are also a special type of characteristic signals. Here you can observe. So a distance signaling post which is arranged with the lever arm of green, yellow, and red lights. These are the a distant signal placed at a adequate distance from the home signal. A home and Warner signal combination is placed at the adequate distance of 185 meter from the point. This is the 3-point distant signal showing off the attention. This is the 3-post distant signal showing proceed, and this is the distant signal of which is indicates caution. This distant signal post which is set to clear the vehicle from the track and move and proceed for the next station. And here you can observe the modified lower quadrant semaphore signals. The combined signals. When going to their location, it is necessary to combine two signals. One stop signal only may be provided under approved special instructions. They are capable of displaying any or all of the following aspects: the danger, caution, attention, and also clear the locomotive or the train track from that track. Here in this image, you can observe there are combined signals which are used. The section ahead and proceed with a caution, and also section ahead is also clear. So when traveling to the next station, if indicates these two combined signals indicates an inclined position, the section ahead is also clear, and if one signal is allowed to proceed from this station and maintain a caution to the next station, these are the combined signals for which are used for the moving of locomotive in the direction of the movement. So the combined stop and the distant signals. These signals, which are the British semaphore stop and distance signals on the common post, lower quadrant type, where signals are closely spaced. A stop signal and a distance signal can be mounted on the same post. The distant signal is always the lower of the two. The two signals are slotted so that the distant signal can only clear if the stop signal is clear. Both signals display a light at night which means that the danger indication appears as red over yellow. So here in the combined stopper signals, these are combined lever arms position on the same post parallel to each other, and if in the night time, if the two signals are slotted so that the distant signal can only clear if the stop signal is clear. Both signals display a light at night, which means that the danger indication appears as red over yellow. Here, the red light is shown below, and a green light, yellow light has been shown above lever arm. So these type of conditions or situations for the driver to indicate the stop for the locomotive or the train, and the shunting and subsidiary signals. In the shunting signals and subsidiary signals also exist in semaphore form with smaller arms and lights than are provided for main signals that are provided for the main signals. So these signals may also take the form of a disc with a horizontal stripe which is rotated 45 degrees to the clear position. The train order signals. It was common for train order signals to point the arm straight down to indicate the signal which meant for proceed. So non-railway uses signals on the river weaver navigation directing boats into the paired locks. Railway style semaphore signals have been used to control the movements of the boats or ships. Example is swing bridges, and also to control road traffic. Example at level crossing. Level crossing. Here these are the indicators which we use in the track for the safety movement of the locomotive or the train. Uh, a closer view of the down in a home as a train enters the location station. In the distance, the double disc that controls the exit from the carriage sidings can be seen here. In this is the known as the sighting board, and this is the subsidiary signal falling on, and subsidiary signal shunt ahead, and subsidiary signal the warning, and subsidiary signals which we use this if a subsidiary signal on the horizontal plate, it indicates danger on the track and the locomotive has to be stopped. And if these subsidiary signals which is are inclined position, and these indicates to the driver that the train must clear the track, and the diverging junction signal lesser route, and these are the warning boards here, the black band and speed applying shown here. These are the warning boards for the locomotive to travel in the particular speed limit while reaching to a junction or reaching to a the track must be of a curvature. So these black band and also these warning boards indicates if the board is in the rectangular, sorry, in the uh, uh, quadrantal type. These board indicates the warning of the speed of the driver. So in the circular plate, this indicates the caution. Indicates these type of circular boards indicates a caution board. So it indicates the speed applying shown here on the uh, rectangle box here, and these are the terminating boards which are reflectorized with the white circular boards. These are the diverging junction signal for the main route. Here, this is the view in the opposite direction. The up advanced starter is cleared for a departing train, and on the right on is down outer home. It is unusual for two successive signals to have subsidiaries, but one under the outer home is a warning signals which can be cleared either if the incoming train is to be called on at the inner home or to allow the train to approach the latter if another train is leaving the station at the same time. The semaphore, the semaphore arm of a stop signal is red in front with a white stripe near the end, and the white in the black with a black stripe near the end. The arm is square-ended. These signal aspects are shown below. The colored light. The stop signal may have two colored lights, which is of green above red, or three lights, which is of green, yellow, red, or four lamps, yellow, green, yellow, red, as described the above. These aspects are shown. So the screenshot of signaling layout display in the control room. This is the control room indications for the signaling of the train to pass in these directions. Here in this route, here in this route, this is the upline, this is the downline. Here the end of the war of these trains. This is the station, and these are the movement of the locomotive. Here, the crossover has been provided, and this is the sidings of halting of the or maintaining for the maintaining purpose or any services to be needed. This is the siding provided for the train to halt for a while up to the repair has been done. This is the automatic signal which indicates a red, green, red here, and red here too. The train description. This is the number indicates which type of train is reaching to out to the station. And here these are the route signals. In which route a train can travel. Here these are both red signals which may stop at this if any occurrences occur while the points and switches has been maintained properly. And here in this main lane, we can observe those both green light indicators of in green color. So the train can smoothly pass to the station without any stoppings or without any cautions to be required. And here route occupation display, Here, if the locomotive is traveling in this track, here the light indicates green to proceed further on this track in the direction of the movement of the locomotive. And here, while nearing to a station, it indicates a red, so it must stop at the end of the to reach into the station because of route occupation display that a route has been occupied by another train. If the train passes out from the station, then these upcoming trains are allowed in the station. So previously it indicates a green, and after reaching before reaching to the station, it indicates a red. The tracking movement of the train. Here the tracking movement of the train, and the train has released the points, and train has released the points. Here in this image you can observe this indicates the points indicates red, red, red. So no train has to pass in this path or in this particular track. And here it indicates while moving to the station towards to the station. Here it indicates a green, which may help to proceed. And as far as the driver observes these uh, signal of red before reaching to the station, the train must be stopped on the track, and the train has released the points. Here you can observe the station. The locomotive which is traveling in this direction does not have entrance to the nearer to the station. Also here it indicates there is a train in the station. Here you can observe there are two separate trains on the same track which is nearer to the station, and 6460 is the number of this locomotive or the train which is halting at the station, and 7752 train has to be stopped here as far as uh, reaching to the station. And two trains are displayed here in this image. You can observe there is two trains which are to be observed at the station of one nearer to the station is of 2. So the two trains are displayed on the same track at distances which is possible to clear the train. Uh, so a stopping signal of red color has been displayed here and here. A second route is selected if the station is must be uh, vacated by the train. So here the alternative route, the second route is selected, and here the train must stop before reaching to the station. So that if the third train arrives at the stations, and it must the third train arrives and must leave the station as soon as possible. So the train of 6460 number can be moved to the side link of the track, so that a stopping signal has been applied up the line for the locomotive of number 6458. So and here you can observe the train has entered into the side lane. So the third route is set up for leaving the station. This is the down lane and the locomotive which is arrived to the station, and uh, these are the two routes freed up and down for the trains to proceed, each on the two main each for the two locomotives which are passing through the same station. So these side links are helpful for the halting of the locomotives for any uh, corrections or any maintenance programs has to be done. So the side links are also helpful for freeing up of the stations and to fast movement of the locomotives can be observed if the side links has been provided on the tracks. So these are much more helpful for freeing up of the routes, and for up and down the trains can proceed with more ease, and these are the signalings and routes for the movements of the locomotive. And the next class we can see the control of movements of these trains. Thank you and meet you in the next class.